what would Jesus often say? Oh, ye of little faith. Trust, faith. He would just say, this will work. Don't as he would say, he says, look at your Father. He cares for the lilies of the field. He cares for the birds. Don't you think he'll care for you too? He cares for everyone. And his ability to care is not limited by the fact that there's so many lilies out there and so many birds out there and so many people out there that he doesn't have the ability to care for everybody. He is limitless. We're not. We are finite. We have a limited body that can go limited places, but he needs your limited body going to the limited places to meet the people you need to meet. And he needs you meeting the people you meet, and you meeting the people you meet, and you meeting the people you meet to bring this message to them. So we all have a mighty purpose in God's plan, but he doesn't want dispirited teachers. He wants you to know the truth, because if I go around, yeah, it's really a great message. That's an exciting I want to follow that person who's so depressed all the time. That's why people who are depressed and they go, I don't have any friends, I don't have a relationship. And you go, who'd want to be a friend of yours? And who'd want to be in a relationship with you? To me, I've always said, when people go, I don't have any friends, and I think, well, be a friend. The best way to have friends is to be a friend. Be the kind of person you'd like to be around. Because you don't want, people who are lonely go, I don't want to spend any time with you. Really, you don't want to spend any time with yourself. That's why you want to get out. I want to get out of the house, and this person keeps coming with me. It's me, and it's the same thing for us. If I want to have a more abundant life, then I have to be a more abundant person. That doesn't mean finances. I have to spend money. It means my consciousness. If I want to be a happier person, then I must be that person. This is my holy instant release. My happiness isn't dependent on the things of the world, what the haves or the have-not have. We might go, well, there's just no way because the 99%ers and then there's the 1%er and I'm not in the 1%, so I'm never going to have anything. Oh, really? You can have an abundant spirit. You can have a joyous spirit. Nothing is dependent on the things of the world. And that's what Jesus was always saying. It's not dependent on the things of the world. It's dependent on what you carry within you, what you know. The truth about you. That is the will of God that is given equally to every child of God that walks this earth. That's what we want to know who we are. That's why this is our holy instant of release, to know our will is one with his. But we just drag so much other stuff along with us. And that all the Course is saying is, when you start realizing what seems to block the feeling of truth or the feeling of peace or the feeling of joy or all the things you want from you, then that's what we need to say, lay it down before the feet of truth. And you go, it's really hard for me to let go. Didn't even ask you to let it go. First, just lay it down before the feet of truth and say, this is my holy instant of release, and do your best to let it be removed from you for you. To me, that's asked so little of you, to just look at it and lay it down and see what it feels like for a moment not to carry that burden. If you want to pick it up a moment from now, that's okay. Go ahead and pick it up. But what you will, by laying it down for just an instant, you will feel a release. So when you do pick it up, it won't be in the same way again. So I don't care if you pick it back up, because it's the same thing you lay down every time you lay it down, by the way. Even though the form changes, it's always the same thing. It's an illusion of your separation from God, whether you call it finances or whether you call it difficult job situation or whether you call it anger, fear, despondency, whatever you want to call it. It's the same problem that we always have. And so the moment that we lay it down, we never pick it up in the same way. We've had a touch of heaven. As the first lesson in our Lenten series says 7 weeks ago, we've entered into his presence. Into his presence would I enter now. The moment you enter your mind into the presence of God, you have been changed. Now, if you want to pick that challenge back up again, you can, but you will never pick it up in the same way. You have been changed. So that's the trust. That's the faith. That's why the Course says, spend these moments with him, and he'll return to you thousands of years and eons of years of transfiguration, transformation. Because the moment we join our minds with God, it's not just a moment we get back, it's exponential in what we get back. So these moments that we spend in this awareness we return to the world transfigured. To me, that's why Jesus was so transfigured when he came back to those disciples was they saw the truth in him. It was a transfiguration. It looked like he was not a body anymore. Not just because he was not a body, but because they perceived that as such. They were lifted. They were changed. That was their holy instant of release, and it can be ours too. It didn't just happen 2,000 years ago. It can happen right now.